Hello YouTube. I'd like to show another cutting test, and just before I start, for those curious subscribers, no, these are not new shoes. Uh, we recently with my wife we've cleaned our house and found a lot of shoes and boots that are not to be used anymore, and so not for just throwing them away. I thought this would be great cutting materials, because lots of time these are the materials you need to cut. I mean rubber, leather, clothes, and these kind of materials you really get a feeling of your blade, how it goes through. I mean these provide quite a bit you know uh, hard to pull the knife through. So for me this is a good cutting material. Today I'd like to test something different, and is the ZT Scavenger. To me, I think that this is not an ideal slicer, so I think it will be a little more a different story than the previous knives that were extremely good cutting. The issue with this knife is it's a great knife for the purpose it is intended, but for cutting you expect uh, the more uh, the more to the tip you are cutting. For example, in this part, not in here, but if you got a usual knife, the more you go to the tip, the more cutting power you have, because the blade is usually thinner at the blade at the tip. With the ZT, it's different. You can watch my tabletop review. You will see that much closer. But at this point, the tip is reinforced and it's very thick, so it doesn't go through material as good as, for example, here. You can watch it on the tabletop review. So let's check how the ZT will do on the bubble foil. Yeah, it's sharp, goes nicely, so no problem here. Let's follow up with a little bit of cardboard. It's not slicing extremely well, but it's definitely usable. As I said, the reason is the blade is thicker, the grind is not very, very thin at the cutting edge. Also, the angle is sharpened to 25 on the Lansky sharpening set, so it's a little bit more than I usually use for my slicing knives. So it gets through the material, but not very comfortably. Maybe you can see on the camera that the cut is not clean. It's kind of, you won't have problems with this knife if you're cutting I don't know, straps or something like that, but it's not meant to be used as a working knife, I think. We're cutting something like this, and I think that the guys at ZT designed this knife for such cutting tasks of, I don't know, ropes, straps, maybe small wires, so kind of stuff. But this is kind of, for me, I think it's more of a weapon, a defensive tool, backup knife for soldiers, military, law enforcement and these kind of guys. For that type of use, it's perfect. It will cut whatever you throw at it. I think there's nothing this knife would not handle. It's extremely well built, but it will not excel at slicing, at cutting. I mean, this is a knife you can do prying with it. You'll get impressive results, as you can see. You can stab with it, pry with it. The penetration of this tip is very high. It's really pointy and strong. But let's see how it does on wood. On the wood, well, it's not doing extremely well, and to me, I got a hard spot in here, and to me it's because of the blade shape, which is not usual for utility cutting and for slicing a lot of materials. Usually you would expect a knife to have a belly. This is direct opposite to this. So it's designed to go easy through materials on stabbing, not on cutting. So the shavings, they're kind of shattered, scattered, ribbon. It's not a clean cut. It's kind of yeah, you know. But as I said, the knife handles okay. Just it doesn't excel. Also, for this kind of a little bit heavier cutting, I noticed to my hand this is not comfortable. I mean, you see the small hip in here. That is what really hurts to my palm in heavier cutting. Design is okay. I would say this is designed for the stabbing, because if you grip it this way, you won't have any issues. Your hand can go on the blade and it fits your hand really well. Also, you can use the knife as a Yawara tool, self-defense, non-lethal, for impact like this, or even when you grip it this, like this. So it's a very capable weapon. And last material for cutting, it's some shoes here. This shoe is pure rubber, so how will it perform? Good. Clean cut, quite easy. No problem with this. You can see pierced through this thick kind of rubber. Pretty impressive to me. So let's try a kind of leather shoe. Yeah, it's okay. Cuts fine. You have to change a little bit your cutting technique because you don't have the belly. So instead of it, you need to cut a little bit different, but it can be done. So again, got a sore hand from the shoe cutting, but gets done. You can use this knife for the heavier cutting, but as a slicer it doesn't excel. It's extremely good backup weapon, I would say. Thanks for watching, guys.